Alright guys, in today's video we're going to be learning about Python data types. So data could be represented in many ways. It could be a number, it could be an alphabet, or it could be a list of things. So in Python we usually represent data using number or alphabet or special symbols, true or false sort of thing, and a list. So number can be used to answer a question like what is the age of your dog. Alphabet would be used to answer some questions like what is the name of your cat. In Python we treat special symbols like alphabet. So usually they are treated as an alphabet and they are usually used in emails like @ hash slash and all those things. True or false could be used to answer some questions like are you drunk? If the answer is yes, then it is true, or else it's false. And list would be used to answer some questions like what is the name of your ex, all of your exes. So for some people that would be an empty list, but for some that would be a huge list. We could store all of the names in a list. Alright, so in Python we don't call number as number. We called number as either integer, float, or a complex. So integers are whole numbers, floats are decimal numbers, and complex are equation sort of numbers like 2 plus y, 3x plus 2z, all those things. So alphabet is not called as alphabet, it is called as a string in Python. And as I've told you, special symbols are treated as an alphabet, so even they are called as strings in Python. And true or false is called as Boolean. So a Boolean can be either true or false. A list could have many different names. So in Python we address list as list, set, tuples, or dictionaries. All these have a specific applications and characteristics, so we can't use anything anywhere. They all have their own special dedicated uses. We would be learning all of those in this very video. So first let me give you examples of all of these data types. So integers, as I have told you, are whole numbers. So 1, 2, 12, or any number, it should be a whole number. Float on the other hand is decimal numbers, 34.5 or even 0.000. You could add as many zeros as you want after the decimal point, no matter what. Complex is numbers like 4 plus x or 23 minus j. Strings are alphabets. So apple or subscribe or I'm a boy, this is for you. So as you can see, there are double inverted commas over here. So apple is enclosed under double inverted commas, but for subscribe we have used only one single inverted commas. This is a valid example of string. Even this is a valid example of string. This sentence over here we have also enclosed it into between double inverted commas, so that is fine. Starting with a double inverted commas, you have to end the string with double inverted commas. Alright, that's the rule. So Boolean, as I've already told you, are true or false values. List could be a list of characters or a list of elements. So the first one is a number. So first one is an integer, to be more specific. Second is a string, and third one is also a string. We have enclosed everything inside square brackets and we have separated the elements using commas. Alright, so for set we have used curly brackets, and also the elements could be heterogeneous. So you could use float over here, you could use complex over here, you could use string over here. Any data sets could be used. Tuples are enclosed inside this bracket 1, 2, 3, and this is a list, right? So we have nested tuple over here. We will learn about that later, but basically what it means is that if we could add a list inside of a tuple, or we could add a set inside of tuple, or anything. So this is first element, this is second element, this is third element, and this list is the fourth element. Alright, so dictionaries are the key value pairs. So as you can see, Abby, and we have egoistic, we have separated between colons using colons. So Abby is the key and egoistic is the value. So Lisa is a gold digger, so Lisa is the key and gold digger is the value. And Barbie, poor Barbie, is HIV positive. So Barbie is key and HIV positive is the value. Alright, easy. Now the first three Python data types are also called as numeric types. String is also called as string or text type. List and tuples are called as sequence types. Boolean is called as Boolean type. Dictionary is called as mapping type. Sets and frozen sets are usually addressed as set types. And binary is called as binary types. There is also a bit array, that is also that is 12th data type, but that is not usually used. Even the frozen set and binaries are less commonly used. But anyways, if you remember in the first video while talking about the advantages of Python, the very first advantage that I have to explain to you was it supports dynamic programming. And well, dynamic programming means that we don't need to have to give a type to a variable. So over here in the example I have explained to you that 1 plus 1 and the output will be 2. The Python would automatically understand that this we are talking about integers, right? We are not talking about floats, we are not talking about strings or anything else. Python would directly understand that we are talking about integers, and it would calculate the output for us. Whereas in other programming languages we have to do int 1 plus int 1, and then the output would have been 2, or else we would have again error. So programming in Python is way easier than in other programming languages. All right, so let's have an elaboration on first data type, that is integers. So integers are whole numbers. They could be either positive or negative with no decimal point allowed. All right, these are some valued examples of integers. So I am printing the type of 12. All right, so the type would return what data type this is. So as we know, the output of this would be integer. So the second example, whereas this is minus negative 12, this is also a valid integer, so the output would be integer. The third one, 0, 0, 0, 1, so this is also a valid integer. Plus 1 is also a valid integer, and 0 is also a valid integer. So the output of all of these are going to be integers. Alright, so let's have a look at some invalid examples. So as you can see, this is 1.2. Obviously this is not an integer, this is a float. Alright, so this is not a valid integer. The second one is 1 underscore 2. So underscore is not a valid thing, so this is not an integer. The third one is 1000. Well, we have used comma over here, so this is again not a valid integer. 1G2A, this is a hexadecimal number or hexadecimal number, so this is also not a integer. Dot 1 2 3 4, this is not a integer, also it is not a float, because in front of a point, decimal point, there is nothing. There should have been 0 in front of it, then that would be a valid float, but it is not a valid integer. So anyways, let's move forward. Integers, we can perform many operations on integers like addition, subtraction, and all those things. I will be showing you with an example inside the Jupyter notebook. To explain the operations on integers, let me print what will happen if we do 1 plus 1, and also let me do 1 divided by 1 and 1 star 1, that is 1 multiplication by 1. So slash is used to divide and asterisk or star is used to multiply. Then just press shift enter and the output will be printed. So now let's just save a variable as the number 12. So the value of a is 12. Alright, so b let's save as 23. And if you do print a plus b, then the output would be 35, which is correct. So the second data type is float. So floats are decimal numbers with decimal point. Alright, so these are some valid examples of float: 12.43, 235.96. You can also do addition, subtraction, multiplication with all these numbers. Alright, so elaboration on complex. So complex is something that looks like a mathematical equation. There is a real part in it and also an imaginary part of in it. And this is an example of complex, wherein 2 is the real part and j is the imaginary part. Alright, so string. Alright, so next data type is string. So string is a collection of alphabets or words or characters written inside double inverted commas, single inverted commas, or triple inverted commas. These are some valid examples on of strings. So the first one is hello guys. There is a space in between, but that is also okay. That is a valid example. Uh, Also underscore is allowed in it. Let me turn on the pointer. So underscore is totally allowed. A dot is totally allowed. A space before our sentence start, that is also allowed. Slash n. So this means that new line. So hello will print in first line, and guys would be printed just below it, not in the same line. All right, and that is also a valid example of string. 1 2 3, these may look like integers, but these are treated as string because they are enclosed inside single inverted commas. So 1 2 3 is not an integer, it is, I mean, for in this example it is string. All right, this is triple inverted commas, but due to the formatting of this text it is not looking like a triple inverted comma, but I would explain it in the code. So anything inside triple inverted commas also called as string. Before explaining that, in order to delete the previous cells or useless cells, just click on the cell and press DD. So D 2 times, and then the cell will be deleted. Alright, so now I am creating a new variable called name, and wherein I am saving my name as its value. So Yash in double inverted commas. If you want to check the type of this, you could print type of name, and the output would be string. str means string. Now let me create a new variable called name2, wherein I would save my name inside triple inverted commas. So here are triple inverted commas, and wherein I am saving my name, YASH. Alright, so this also ran without any error. So if you check the type of name2, the variable name2, it is going to be string, obviously. So yeah, string. Also you could create a new variable inside single inverted commas. I am typing my name. Type is going to be string of this new variable name3. Perfect. These are some invalid examples. So there are two inverted commas in front of subscribe and just a single inverted commas after it. So that's not a valid example. So also hello is inside double inverted commas correctly, but we can't have a second exclamation, so we can't have this exclamation mark outside of this string. So there would have been so in this case we would have two variables used, but this for a single variable is not allowed. Also the third one is not allowed due to the brackets, due to wrong brackets, and in the fourth one I have used a C for copyright mark. Also that is not allowed, so that is also invalid string. All right, for new line we use /n, and for tab space we use /t. This is forward slash, not backward slash. So string indexing. All right, so string indexing starts from 0 onwards, but it also has a twist. So let's first understand what is string indexing. So let's say this is our example string. So h is going to be index 0. All right, this h is going to be at index position 0, and e is going to have an index position of 1. L is going to be having index position of 2. Next L is 3. O is 4. This space is going to be having an index position of 5. If there was 2 space, there would have been 2 index positions, but for now there is just 1 space, so 5. And C is having an index position 6, and so on till the exclamation mark, that is the index position of 12. Also there is a twist in it, that is reverse indexing or negative indexing. So exclamation mark, as we have seen, could have an index position of 12, or else we could target exclamation mark using -1. All right, so we could also call it -1. So S is going to be having index position of -2, R is going to be at index position -3, and so on. All right, So if you don't know the index position of last element, you could easily print it using negative indexing. Easy, right? So now let us have a look at string methods. So the very first one is dot format method. So here's a simple example of dot format method. So here I am printing my name is and then curly brackets, and using dot format, and inside of bracket I'm writing my name Yash. So the output that will be printed is my name is Yash. This would be placed inside of this bracket. All right, that is really easy, right? So that is how dot format works. The second one is capitalize. So capitalize would capitalize all the alphabet present inside the string. Second one is count. It would just count all the alphabets or also the spaces inside this string. Next one is lower. It would just lower the entire string. It would print the entire string in lowercase. Upper and capitalize are different. Let me show you the difference between them. Let me delete the useless cells first. So we are just going to keep name and name two variables, else we are just deleting it. So now let me print name dot upper. Let me show you what upper does. So it will just capitalize everything. Yeah, so it has just capitalized everything. But if we type name dot capitalize, it will just capitalize the first letter of the word or a sentence. So I have typed name dot capitalize, and after running it, it is just capitalized the first. It was already capitalized, so not a big difference. So split would split the string into different strings as we wish to, and there are many more. You could just Google for string methods in Python, and you would get a list of all the methods present that we could perform on string. All right. So next is string slicing. So slicing means cutting the string into pieces. All right, as we cut vegetables into slices, we could cut string into pieces. So let's have this as an example. Subscribe. All right, so if we print 3 colon and onwards, so it would give us scribe, because 3 means index start from index position 3 and end till the end, because there is no number over here. It would go till the end. If there was a number over here, it would have stopped till that index position, but as for now there is no number over here, so it would go till the end. So this is 0 index position, first, second, and this is third. So from 3 it is going scribe all the way till the end. All right, so this is string slicing. Now in the second example, let's add a number over here. So it is till the index position 5th, but the 5th index position is excluded. Let me explain you what it means. So it would start from 3rd index position, that is 0 1 2 3. So it would start from this S. This is 3rd index position, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So 5th index position is R, but R is not included, so it would just go S and C because R is excluded. All right, this extra number over here means it jump. All right, so 2 means jump, so it would jump. So S 0 1 2, so S, then B, then C, then I, then E. That is how it would jump. But we have applied some numbers over here, so it would just jump from this number, this index position, till this index position. Again, index position 12 is excluded, so this would be the output. Let me explain that with the code. So here I am creating a new variable called name, and the value is subscribe. All right, inside the double inverted commas I am writing subscribe. So if we print this from 3 onwards till the end, we will get scribe. All right, so if we print name from index 3 till index position 5 excluding 5, so we get sc as output. And if we print name starting from index 3 till 5 with a step size of 2, we would get this as an output, which is correct. Okay, so let's have a deeper understanding on this syntax. So 3 is the starting position which is included. 12 is the ending position, ending index position which is excluded, and 2 is the jump, or it is called as step size. It would just jump 2 index position forward. All right, it would just skip alternate positions. Yeah. So next important topic is string concatenation. It may sound a little bit complex, but it is absolutely easy. So it is adding multiple strings together. So let's have a really simple example. So this is 1, and because it is inside in double inverted commas, it is treated as a string. Plus this is 1, which is again treated as a string, not as an integer. And if we add them using a plus operator, it would print 1 1, not 2. All right, so this is how string concatenation works. Let us have a different example. So I love Python. So I love Python. All these strings are different, all these are different strings, but using plus we could just add them, and this is going to be output. But we don't have space in between. All right, so there should have been a space before P and after I, or before L. So I have done this over in the third example. I have added a space over here, also a space over here. This is an error actually. There would be 2 spaces, but all right, for now I love Python, there would have been 2 spaces over here. Sorry for the mistake. All right, so now let's have an elaboration on next data type, that is list. So list is a collection of different elements separated by comma and wrote inside square brackets. So the very first and important topic inside list is indexing. As we have seen indexing in string, it is similar also in list. So this is an example of list, all right, inside the square bracket separated by comma. But I have done a slight mistake over here. There should have been inverted commas over here. All right, because avocado, banana and apple are strings, so they should have been wrote inside double inverted commas. But for now, for simplicity, I have done it. I have wrote it like this. All right, so apple is going to be having index position 0, banana will have an index position 1, and avocado, it would be at index position 2. All right, index position starts from 0, not from 1. So now let us have a look at operations on list. So it is basically called as CRUD. C stands for create or adding a new item in list. R stands for reading a new item in list. U stands for updating a new item in list. And D stands for deletion of an item in a list. Let me give a simple syntax of how it's done. So to create a new item in a list, we need to have a list, right? So let's save a list inside of this variable. So this variable name is my list equals, and we have created this list. All right, over here I have added inverted commas. So A, B, C are strings inside this list, and there are 3 elements in list. This A is going to be having an index position 0, B is going to be having an index position 1, and this 2. All right, so to add a new element, we could simply do new list dot append. All right, it would append a new character or an element inside this new list. So now this new list is going to be A, B, C, comma D. All right, so to delete something from a list, we could do something like my list dot pop and the element name. If this element is not present in the string, it is not going to work, it would give an error. So dot pop and D, so we have just added D and now we are removing it. So dot pop and the name of the element that you wish to pop. All right, so now in order to update or change a new value or change an existing value, we could do something like new list. Inside the bracket we could place the index position of whatever element that we wish to change, and over there we could add the new element that we wish to add. So over here x, this is 0 index position, this is 1. So instead of B, there would be x. So AXC. All right, that would be our new list. So our new list would be AXC. So in order to read a specific character or element in a string or in a list, we could do something like print list name, that is our new list, and then inside of brackets we could specify the index position that we wish to read. Alright, so here it is 1, so B would be printed out. So this output of this is going to be B, string B. Alright, so this was the operations that we could perform on list. Correct. Alright, now let's have a look on list methods. So the very first one is append. Alright, we have already seen it. We use append to add a new element in list. Next one is pop. We have already seen it. We have used it to delete a element from an existing string list. Sorry, sort would sort the elements in ascending order by default. You could also sort them in descending order, but by default it would do it by ascending order. Reverse, it would just reverse all the position. It would not reverse order it, but it would just reverse all the existing elements in a list. Clear would delete all the elements inside the list. So now let's understand about list comprehension. Now let us understand about list concatenation. List concatenation is really similar to string concatenation, wherein we add different lists together. So this is an example. List 1 is a variable name and this is the list. Alright, so list 1, this is the list 1 2 3, and list 2 is 4 5 6. We have to add this, so we could simply write list 3 is equal to list 1 plus list 2, and list 3 is going to be having value 1 2 3 4 5 6. Easy. Now let's understand list comprehension. It is printing all the values, all the elements inside a list. I will explain it with the code. So this is an example. The very first element that is at index position 0 is Alfonso mango. Alfonso mango is the best of fruits. Alright, if you haven't ate Alfonso mango in your entire life, you haven't ate fruit. That is my favorite food, and yeah, it is the best fruit in this entire planet. If you haven't ate Alfonso mango till yet, you haven't tasted what real flavor means. Alright, you have to taste it once in your life. Alright, so anyways, coming back to our topic. So list slicing, we could cut a list into pieces. This is the simple syntax of how it's done. Alright, so let's have an elaboration on dictionaries. So dictionaries are key value pairs and they are separated using colons. Each pair is separated using commas, and everything is enclosed inside curly brackets. So this is an example that we have already seen. So Abby is the key, egoistic is the value, Lisa is the key, gold digger is the value, and this entire thing is a pair. Barbie and HIV positive is a pair. Poor Barbie, right? So Abby is the key and egoistic is the value. Easy. Dictionaries do not support indexing and hence we can't do slicing. But there are various methods and various operations that we could perform on dictionary. Let us see. So the very first one is dictionary methods. So these are the dictionary methods. So items would print all the items in the list, all the key value pairs. Alright, keys would print all the keys present inside the list. So this would return something like Abby, Lisa and Barbie. Values would print all the values present. So egoistic, gold digger and HIV positive. Clear would delete everything that is present inside the list. Alright, now let's have a look on tuples. So tuples is a collection of different elements separated by comma, and we write it inside curved brackets, and it cannot be mutated. That is, it cannot be modified. Mutated means modified. So this is an example of an tuple. So let us have a look on tuple methods. So the first one, there are just two methods that is really used in tuples. The very first one is count and then the index. So count, it would just count the elements present inside it. So this is 1 2 3 4 5. So this output would be 5, and index would I don't know. So booleans, next one is booleans. Booleans can be either true or false. Alright, so this is an example of boolean. we are printing 28 is greater than 4. Definitely it is greater than 4. So the output would be true, or else it would have been false. Easy. So let us have a look at Boolean methods. The very first one is bool. Alright. So our next data type is sets. Let us have an elaboration on it. So sets means it is a collection of different data elements separated with comma, and it is enclosed inside curly brackets. They cannot be there. They cannot have duplicate values. All right, this is an important point. So set supports indexing, slicing, mutation, iteration, and concatenation. We have already seen all of these in strings, in lists, so we could use the same ideology over here. Now let's have a look on sets methods. So we could use add to add a new element in the set. So this is an example of it. Existing set dot add and then a new element. All right, easy, right? That's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video and thanks for staying till the very end. I know you definitely liked what I taught, and if you did not like it, it is your problem because I just teach perfectly.